Welcome back, ghouls and goblins. Thanks for taking the time to support the channel. I hope you're having a magical day. The 2023 starter decks continue to be upgraded. Today, it's Storm of Blades, a Boros, Samurai, and Warrior aggro deck. We will be modifying our creatures as well. Playing this build in Alchemy, but don't worry, we've done a standard version as well. All of the decks are located in one playlist, all 15 beginner decks for both standard and Alchemy formats, for your convenience. In today's video, we'll break down the deck list, talk about the strategies, the synergies, then we'll showcase all of this within our gameplay footage, which is just like fantastic today. We'll wrap up with our final thoughts, deck review, and channel news. Again, thank you all so much. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to help support. Let's take a look at the deck list, yeah? Okali dokali, here we arkali. Storm of Blades is a Samurai Warrior tribal deck with a 2.5 average mana value within Boros, white and red colors. We have 16 creatures, 20 non-creatures, and again, we are playing in Alchemy. I know, I have so much Alchemy hate, it's crazy. No one watches these videos, but some of you do, so this is for you, right? I'm not leaving you guys out. We love all Magic players. 24 lands in the deck, and like I said, we've got some really cool samurais, we have some warriors, and we have some modify to get down and dirty with. So let's just go through the deck card by card, because it's not really focused on any specific thing. It's really just about applying continuous pressure to your opponent. So the Hopeful Initiate for 1 is a 1/2 with training. We can pay 3 to remove 2 +1/+1 counters from among creatures that we control to destroy an artifact or enchantment. This is really, really nice because we have a modified deck, right? So it's easy to keep under control the artifacts and enchantments that our opponent may have through the Hopeful Initiate's ability, and it itself can accumulate those counters via the training. You know, it attacks with a creature that's stronger than it, it's going to get that +1/+1 counter there, right? So that's really cool. Kumano faces Kakkazan, 1 mana, one of the best red drops we've seen for one in a while. When it enters, 1 damage to each opponent and each planeswalker that they control. Next up, whenever you cast your next creature, put an additional +1/+1 counter on it, and then finally exile transform into the etching of Kumano as a 2/2 with haste, and whenever a creature is dealt damage this turn by a source you control would die, exile it instead. So, you know, this is just giving us hard exiles, basically quasi-graveyard control, if you will, and it helps with the modify mechanic through that +1, and you know, that damage is really quite nice as well. Play with fire for 1 at instant speed, dealing 2 damage to any target. If a player is dealt damage this way, we're going to scry 1. So this is a spot removal at instant speed, nice. It's also reach to get us that last bit of damage, nice. And the scry 1, if we do go face there, it's pretty cool as well. The Rabbit Battery is a 1/1 with haste. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has haste, reconfigure for 1. So this is nice because it's an early attacker, quite quick. It can reconfigure onto another creature, giving it haste, which is pretty cool as well. And then as well, it'll fulfill that modify mechanic, which is counters or equipments or auras to trigger that. Eater of Virtue for 1, legendary equipment artifact, and whenever equipped creature dies, exile it, which is so sad, but the ability is pretty cool. So equipped creature, first off, gets +2/+0, and then as long as a card is exiled with the Virtue as flying, the same for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, or Protection, Reach, Trample, and Vigilance, right? So if you have a creature that was exiled with the Virtue that had one of those keywords, and then equip it to a new creature, that new creature is going to have those old keywords, which is really quite nice. March of Otherworldly Light for 1+X instant speed as an additional cost. To cast this spell, you may exile any number of white cards from your hand and reduce the casting cost of it by 2 for each card exiled this way. And then exiling yourself, a target artifact, creature, or enchantment of mana value X or less, which is really, really, really nice. Tokens are mana value 0. Keep in mind. Kami's Flare for 2, instant speed, 3 damage to any creature or planeswalker, and then 2 damage to that permanent's controller if we have a modified creature, right? So that's part of the synergy here. Goro-Goro, Disciple of Ryusei. Just throw it out there. Maybe it sounds right. For 2 mana, as a 2/2, we pay 1. Creatures you control gain haste until the end of turn. So this is really nice in an aggro deck. And then, you know, this ability is the heater. If we can get this and take advantage of it, we're on the right path. Paying 5, creating a 5/5 red dragon spirit creature token with flying. Activating this only if you control an attacking modified creature. We have the Selfless Samurai here. 4 copies of this in deck. This is one of the main cards that I like. For 2, as a 2/2, whenever a warrior or samurai attacks alone, it's going to gain lifelink. We like it. And then we can sacrifice the samurai to give another creature that we control indestructible until the end of turn, which is very, very good. Copy of the Lion Sash for 2 is a 1/1. We can pay 1 to exile a card from a graveyard. If it was a permanent card, put a +1/+1 counter on the Sash, and then equipped creature, if it is equipped through the reconfigure 2, will also receive equal +1/+1 to those counters, right? Which is fantastic. Destroy Evil, 2 mana, instant speed, choose 1, destroying creature with toughness 4 or greater, or target enchantment, which is quite nice. Into our 3 drops here, Restoration of Eiganjo. Search your library for basic planes, put it into your hand, then shuffle. You may discard a card. If you do, return permanent with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped, and then finally exile, transform into the Architect as a 3/4 with Vigilance. Whenever it attacks or blocks, create a 1/1 spirit. Beautiful. Wedding Announcement for 3, and at the beginning of your end step, put a counter on it. If you've attacked with 2 cards, or 2 creatures this turn, draw a card. If not, create a 1/1, and then once you've got 3 counters on it, transform it to the Festivities. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Adeline, Resplendent Cathar. Power is equal to the number of creatures we control. Toughness 4 with Vigilance, and whenever it attacks, whenever you attack, Adeline doesn't even have to attack. You can have another creature attack. Create a 1/1 that's tapped and attacking creature or planeswalker as well, which is really nice. Brittle Blast for 3, instant speed. Creatures and planeswalkers your opponents control perpetually gain. If this permanent would die, exile it instead, and will deal 5 damage to creature or planeswalker. The Face Breaker for 3 is a 2/3 with menace, and whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. This is similar to Adeline, where it doesn't have to be the Face Breaker, it can be any creature. And we can sacrifice a treasure to exile the top card of our library, and being able to play that card this turn, which is actually pretty nice. A copy of the Reckless Stormseeker for 3, a 2/3, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0, and haste until the end of turn. Daybound, Nightbound, an additional +1/+1, bringing it to 3/4. Now you're handing out, at the beginning of combat, +2/+0 haste and trample, which is really quite nice. Ryusei, Asari Commander for 3, a 3/3 with haste. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, if it doesn't have an indestructible counter on it, put 1 on, and then whenever you are dealt combat damage, remove that indestructible counter. Into our 4 drops, Leonin Warleader for 4 is a 4/4, and whenever it attacks, create 2 1/1 cats with lifelink that are also tapped and attacking. We love it. The Emperor for 4 mana with flash, 3 starting loyalty. When she enters play, she can activate her loyalty abilities at instant speed. +1, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It gains first strike until the end of turn. -1, create a 2/2 samurai with Vigi. And -2, create an exile effect on tapped creature, and you're going to gain 2 life. See how I saved that there? Moving on, we've got Atsushi, the Blazing Sky for 4 is a 4/4 with flying and trample. When it dies, choose 1. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards or create 3 treasure tokens, which is nice for the Face Breaker. We have Storm's Edge for 4 is a 3/3 with first strike, and whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, untap it. If it's the first combat phase of the turn, there is an additional combat phase after this. So, one thing attacks alone, it untaps, and then we attack with everything, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Elspeth's Resplendent for 5 starting loyalty +1, putting a +1/+1 counter on target creature, and a counter from among flying, first strike, lifelink, and or vigilance. Not and or vigilance. And, you say? HGG, easy. -3, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You can put a permanent with mana value 3 or less from among them into the battlefield with a shield counter. -7, creating 5 3/3 angels. They're tokens with flying, of course. Mysterious Limousine for 5 as a 4/4 crew 2 vehicle. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile a creature until it leaves the battlefield, or if another creature is put into exile, right? So you can only have 1 creature in exile at a time. Good for bouncing and, flickering, I guess I should say, not bouncing because it's not going to your hand. Your ETBs, but really good just for locking down your opponent's big baddie. The Sigardia summons for 6 as an enchantment. Creatures you control with +1/+1 counters on them have base power and toughness of 4/4 and flying and are angels in addition. So, we have the modified deck. We're putting those +1/+1 counters out, a couple different ways, God willing, and, just taking advantage of that through the Sigardia summons, which is quite nice. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. That should get in for, probably lethal. I mean, whatever Kumano is, Hopeful Initiate, You know, they're going to be big, they're going to be bad, and they're going to most likely get the job done. Keep in mind the Wandering Emperor can also distribute these +1/+1 counters along with Elspeth Resplendent. So, you know, it is up to us to put those counters on. It's not a ton of ways, but there are enough to really get after it, right? Of course, we have the lands, those gates here for those Seeks. You know, the dual lands for consistency, and, you know, just a fantastic deck if you're looking to play some games in Alchemy. And just bash your opponent in, you know, Boros aggro, doing what Boros aggro does best. Thanks for watching the Deck Tech. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so for more great content, and enjoy today's gameplay footage. Then we'll be back to wrap up with everything. Opponent goes first. Oh, they're going to need it. Oh, this is pretty slow for us. Or not. Just get after it, right? If you can pull up a third land, it's fine. If not, it's still pretty good. Right? We can play this for one, then just immediately equip it. Go gadget. Samurai. You like it. Like I do too, it's pretty cool. Guns is a good deck though. Like turn 3 Kiki Jiki. We can all have a good laugh. Oh no, you have to come in tapped? Next turn, bud, next turn. Sucks. It's a shaman though, not a samurai or a warrior. It's a good card though. You know that much. I'd say maybe you should have waited a bit. Let's get him. 5 life, up to 26. They're down to 14 now. This is very bad.
Enough with the mysteries.
Very bad. Bully.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Why don't you have Blitz? Wedding should be safe as long as it's not a, you know, invoke tears. I'll show you mine if you show me yours, right? That's kind of the basis we work off of. You first. Durgans. People are liking these Durgans here. We can take that kill, Lily, which is it's acceptable. We'll just toss the land. Don't care. They might not want to throw away a card, though, it seems. Just to leave Lily sit there, I don't think is good. Removing the threat.
Sorry, I'm not interested
for
in
now.
today.
A little worried about what comes next, but we'll pretend it's not like a 6/6 dragon. You know? Oh! Oh! Give me that land, baby. At least, you know? Can be tapped. Burn. I guess white source is tasty. Cool.
Nobody knows Dominaria
Truly,
shadows
Leonis.
like me.
That's fantastic. Really, really good.
You know,
crack her down to
I
1.
think you'd look better as a corpse.
Play the land, draw a card. That's not bad. Sash can do a couple things up here. That is bad. Or worse. We keep the land here for this. Get out of here. And then this is not great. We can get dragons in play. Soon we have Menace here, which is nice. It has to be a creature. It's a permanent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lands are permanents, but we only have 2 mana because it's a white source that does it. So what we be at 2, 3, 4. Doesn't really get the job done. But we should get after it, right? Kill Lily. Again.
I knew this was a waste of time.
You get out of here. I might save this, actually, this last one, and do it in response. Right? That would be smarter if we just held on. Because I think they would have to target it, and then we could take it out from the target. Let's make sure that we get as much value as possible out of this Sash. This Shivian Champion is gonna wreck us. I mean, nice card, bro. Oh, down to 21. Take our turn. Take the hit. We hit for 6, 9. Lands are permanent. Make a treasure. Play the land. Kumano in. Down to 4. Next turn, we might want to sacrifice that treasure. The card. And this is our last turn before these dragon eggs start hatching. Pretty good. Blocker. So is that. Do they still attack? No. Oh my lord. So here's their 3rd egg now. Kidding me. Big money, big money, big money, no whammies. Interesting. Big money, no whammies. See how easy it is? Let's see where this gets us. Take a 6/6, and that actually gets in the way of some of these dragons. You know? We have to take this because they can cast it. Dragon egg time, though. Don't you... Oh! They get the best one! Bro! What's mine say? Oh, Lord. They're gonna kill our dragon here. And then they get that sack effect, too. Are you serious? That's crazy. Wish we could instant speed reconfigure. They like taking the menace because it requires 2 blockers. Are they brave enough to attack? Another egg. This is problematic. And then they're allowed to sacrifice, which may not be good because we get to, instead of them replaying that with the claw, like you typically would like to, I'm going to take it from your grave with the sash. I think we're doing really good for a free-to-play deck, though. I'm having fun. The line's pretty good. Slam in. See where their blockers go first, because I might just want to push up the sash a bunch. Let's see. Okay, we have blocks. Yes, replace the dragon. Kill. Those are in exile because of Kumano. In turn. We have to exile our own permanents while Kumano's in play. This is bad, this is bad. Wow. This is bad. Yes, kill Kumano. Yeah? I think they think that's a good idea as well. Because of their claw. Are they still top decking absolute bombs? Probably. And we've got that air blocker, we've got 21 life, and their backs are really against the wall. Whew. This is fantastic. They pass turn, another egg counter. These things will just not stop. Etching. We can get after it here, I guess. Big attacks. Requiring big blocks. Don't know what they have in hand. They'll just keep playing it safe. We're so close. We can also seek, keep in mind, doing that all after required sash eats. Okay, good blocks here. This is really nice. We're taking out 3 of their creatures. Beautiful. All keeping the champion alive. I like it. all 5 red mana here. Screw you, auto tapper. Attacks are semi-clean. They're going to pump this up for the kill. Right? Good trade. Oh, they grab first strike too, actually. That's quite smart. And that last one's for first strike. It's good. Pretty good, yeah. We could have done differently with our mana and double drawn. Or double dragon, sorry. Just once per turn. No, we could have done it twice. Yeah, let's take lethal next turn. We're gonna seek here, I believe. Whenever a dragon you control becomes a target of a spell or an ability an opponent controls, it'll deal 3 damage to that player. And then another claw, which will allow things to be replayed. So let's take that terror. And then if they're going to play that claw they already have, that's fine. But now we have spent too much mana for this. We take it anyways. Take our cards as well. I might unconfigure this for an extra attacker. Takes a while, but you know, it's gonna be done. Whenever it becomes a target of a spell, 3 damage. Who does the damage go to? Our 2/2? Just us. Interesting. Woo! Woo! Nice. Buys them a turn. That's gonna stop any air attacks. Maniform Hellkite is so good. Wow, they're actually doing it just through these frickin' dragon eggs. That Timaeus safekeeping probably won them the game, you know? What a life to live. I think they're gonna get us. Let's just start double dragging. Double dragging? Dragoning? Only 3 damage. Oh. Our 2 per turn should beat their 1, potentially 2 per turn. So this is not, I'm thinking of the other card, that when it dies it deals damage equals the number of cards you have. Red Dragon is good, 4 damage to any target. Dang bro, what's mine say? They might get us. This is a great match of Magic, honestly. Very, very good. It's this champion. Oh, how many dragons has that brought into play? Do they have another safekeeping is the thing, right? I don't know. They probably do. Why didn't they cast that? Let's just go with something confirmed. Kinda sucks, but at least this way we're going confirmed wide. We forgot to take that from the grave because we double dragon instead. Okay, okay, my bad. Oh, and they gain a lot of damage output that way. They gonna go with haste? Do they have to kill? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 6. Oh, that's close. But that would open us up to take a nice big fat hit. Right? Okay, I'm just confused. Seems like a suspect hit. I clicked the wrong button there. Why couldn't you finish out the match? That was such a good match, bro! And we're off to the races just like that, keeping 7, 3 land in hand. It looks fantastic. Hello. Good game. How are you, my friend? Looking forward to our match of Magic. We have a turn 1, 2, 3 that is, you know, arguably gas. Be able to get to space on this, right? Light her up. Let's smash for 1, hold our mana back. I mean, it does grant indestructible, but as soon as we play it, they see that, and then they're going to respond. Like, oh, well, I'll remove it now. That would be before our combat, before this 1 damage, and then they can do it now, after we've taken advantage of all that, right? Arguably, you could play it beforehand, but lots of the times I won't, because, you know, we see that effect here. Screw you, dude. I mean, same exact outcome. but on my terms. If it was always on your terms, HGG, wouldn't you be sitting in your own chair instead of having the cat in your chair? Let's grab some indie. You like that, right? Indestructible on the commander, as long as we don't take damage. Could happen. We're gonna train the initiate again. We have good removal. We have a little bit of reach. One Emperor. Really? The Dragon's deck? That's crazy. Man, you wild. Huh? And they go for it. He's through the orb. Taking our indestructible away. I say let's hit, train, grab indestructible. Kill the whelp. Really? Okay. I'm gonna hold up Flare. Doesn't really hit the Barbarian well because it can self-sack. But it can hit this, especially in conjunction. You know, this is potentially 8 damage for 5 if we get that next land. A lot of mana for a big dragon that's gonna have haste, but if they are attacking, are they dealing 18 damage? Oh, Fatal Flaw. Fatal Flaw. This is delicious. Good game, right? And that's the advantage, is keeping that Kami Flare in your hand, as opposed to the Burn Down the House. Not Burn Down the House, sorry, the Play with Fire, because it deals that extra damage, and then you still get that chip damage through. Woof! Storm of Blades, taking down a pimped out dragon deck. I don't know how we did it. Goro-Goro, you are an insane card. You single-handedly beat... Well, it wasn't just Goro-Goro, let's be honest. It was Goro-Goro and Lion Sash, literally allowing us go crazy. And you know, that's actually really cool to demonstrate. It's like, even though it is a beginner deck, it's filled with commons and uncommons that are of high value, but we get so many rares. We don't get a ton of mythics, you know, but through the collection of all 15 starter decks, you can pimp out some of the decks pretty nicely without actually spending any of your wild cards, which is pretty cool. So I hope you've been enjoying the series. Again, reminder, it's all in one easy to find playlist. All 15 decks for both Standard and Alchemy. So whatever tickles your fancy, I'm sure you'll find it. We have only like one other deck to do, which is crazy. So, you know, wrapping up, and then we're into a new set. Brothers War is just coming out and all that. So cheers. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that. Have a magical day. Become a YouTube member if you want to go above and beyond. And we'll see you soon in the next.